Well, hello, everybody. It is 4th of July week. It's July 2nd, and hope you all are doing well. I am now off for a couple days, 3 days to be exact, off today, tomorrow, and Friday, 4th of July. So, looking forward to some relaxing and some fun and some live streaming with you guys, whoever's out there, and whoever wants to chat. So let me know who's here. Beetleetti is here. How you doing, Beetleetti? And who knows how long this live stream will go? I know it's again it's a holiday week. People could be out vacationing and elsewhere, or just doing family stuff, which is okay with me. I mean, I'm going to be doing, as soon as I get done with this live stream, I have to do some shopping and get some stuff for the holiday. We're going to be grilling steaks, and we'll have some family over. We'll have some fun. Have some drinks, have some cigars, maybe watch a movie or two. Which hello, Lynn, brought up. Good afternoon, Tom. Have you seen the F1 movie? I have. I saw the F1 movie last week, and I had a fun time with it. It's a fun summer movie. It's your basic, sports film with you got the arrogant, rookie who thinks he knows everything. And then you got the aging, athlete who still has something to prove, and their teammates, and they're trying to, work it out to where they can work together as a team. And, and as these stories go, the first few times it doesn't work out, and people get frustrated, people leave, and then people come back, and so I mean, but it's a lot of fun. I didn't see it in IMAX. It was filmed for IMAX, so I'm definitely going to see it in IMAX. I do want to see it again, but this time in IMAX. I had a lot of fun with the film. So, Tim Allen, my friend, how are you? How are you? I got we were doing the live show with Joe Mayo on his channel, and I was hoping that a movie I was waiting for, excuse me, to come in the mail, but it came the next day. So I'll be showing that next week on Joe's channel if I don't see a movie, or if I don't go to the movies, I should say. Enjoy your, well, it's kind of like a mini vacation, but thank you very much, Bioletti. Son, Gary, good. Hello. Received the press to play. Awesome. Glad to hear that. Sorry it took a little time to ship it, but got it. Glad you got it, and enjoy. Hope you enjoy. Are you a fan of the press to play? I forgot if you mentioned that last time. Let me know. It was fantastic popcorn movie, but well done and enjoy. Yeah, I mean those race car, the racing scenes were fantastic. The racing scenes are fantastic. Right. Yeah, I heard it should be a Z. Okay. Yeah, it should be seen in IMAX. Yeah. And I'm gonna go see an IMAX. Same with Superman too. I think Superman's gonna be in IMAX as well. However, I'll just see it in the regular screen first. Excuse me, and go from there. Anyways, so you guys have plans this week? You guys got plans for the weekend? What are you gonna do? How's the weather? You got family coming over? Going to some music parks. What are you guys up to for the week? Like I said, I'm just gonna be chilling. I gotta go to the store, do some grocery shopping. Maybe I'll go to the movie theater. We'll see. I did get some new international McCartney 45s here. I'll be showing a little later. Um, but uh, but yeah. So yeah, I'm a fan of Press from the release. So yeah, cool, very cool. My partner, crime, Andy Nichols, he showed a piece on his new video, his new collector's video, a piece that I've had for a little while, and it's cool that he picked it up, and it's the birthday box. Hopefully, you guys saw that video, and we'll talk about it here in a second. Let's see. I'm going to go see Jurassic Park. Yeah, I mean, I've only seen the first Jurassic Park. I don't know if I'll ever see the any of the sequels or the reboots or anything like that. But let me know if you liked it or not. Look forward to hearing that. Beal says, heard they are talking about, yeah, they're already working on a sequel to Superman. The word on the street is that it's a very good movie, and I cannot wait. I'm looking forward to it. Mike, how you doing, Mike Wallace Jasper? Good to see you here. Thank you very much for popping in. But yeah, this birthday box is a lot of fun. It's just got some bunch of CD singles in there. There's a patch. There's a badge. As you open it up, you know, and it says it's a 5,000, and I've got right there. You can see it, number 4,788. Okay, here's the patch right there. You got the badge right there. So yeah, it's a fun little set. And it's great. It's got a nice little box in there. You can stand the box up. You don't need any kind of stand or anything like that. So yeah, the birthday box. It's reasonably priced too. I mean, you can get these on eBay or Discogs or whatever. So yeah. So it says Paul McCartney, the birthday box, limited edition. Yep. So yeah, yeah. Lynn says, I plan to see Superman also. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute here. Yeah. So, yeah. His number is a little lower than mine. It's fine. I mean, you never know which one you're going to get, really. Tom, I have a question for you. Is there a Macca single that has eluded you? Mine is a 7-inch of this one. I've just never found one. Well, yeah, and not to rub it in or anything, but I have the two of this one. There's your standard, this one, and then there's kind of like one with deluxe one with postcards in it. And I have both of those. But there, there's a couple countries where I have yet to get anything from. Well, maybe one or two. However, the country of Angola has some 45s that I just can't find. Okay, no one's selling, no one has them available, no one's got them for sale. But I pretty much have everyone that I really wanted over the last 5 years that I've been collecting the 45s. I've been able to get pretty much everyone. You know, the one with Jet with the the topless woman on the cover. I think that was from Sweden. There's a great one from Letting Go that has Linda on a motorcycle from the Red Rose Speedway sessions. On it. So I've pretty much have. Junior's Farm from Italy was one of the ones that I was really looking for a couple years, and then just out of the blue, it just appeared on eBay, and I was like, yes, buy, send, and I've got it now. Now over the last 5 years, there's I've pretty much have gotten everyone that I've really desired. However, getting into the ones from Israel, those are now being a pretty penny. Yeah, backseat of my car. Do I need that one? I think I need that one, but there's no picture sleeves for it. There's two singles from the 70s that didn't have a picture sleeve. Okay, and that's backseat of my car, and that's Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey. For whatever reason, Those two just don't have any picture sleeves. Hello, James Boyce. How are you? I hope you're doing well, my friend. Thanks for popping up. But I got the two from Turkey. Okay, and they're the same, but they're not the same. Okay, as you can see, um, as you can see, this one has yellow writing, and this one has orange writing. So this is Mrs. Vanderbilt from Turkey. Finally got these in the mail. So, and some countries did multiple versions of 45s, whether the lettering is in different colors, like these are. So, which is makes just the rabbit hole even deeper. Once you find out that there's more than one variant for a picture sleeve, uh, then you go like, damn it, there's another one I gotta have. And yes, that's true. You can't play the sleeves, but the ones that come with picture sleeves, it's very important to me as a piece of art, as a going with the music, which is also art, and then with the picture sleeve that is also art. In my opinion. So, if there's a great single out there, and if it doesn't have the picture sleeve, I'm not. Well, what's the point of getting it, in my opinion? Yes, it's the music that matters the most. However, if a country or whatever felt it was important to issue it with a picture sleeve, I think it's equally as important to get it with the picture sleeve. James says, when I was buying Paul singles in the UK, unless you were fast, the 45 picture sleeves went fast, right. But Tim, I'm sure, you won't find. I mean, maybe you might get lucky and find it at a record store, but I'm sure you won't find it unless you're on eBay or Discogs. But I mean, if you want, I can dig those out and show them to you if you want me to. But what else is going on, everybody? Got any comments, questions? This is the midweek Macca break. Any thoughts about Paul's career you want to talk about? Any albums you want to talk about? Songs, singles, whatever. Let's do it. So I'll stick around for an hour unless unless more people show up and start asking a bunch of questions or have a lot of comments. But other than that, got a busy day, as they say. Yes, Violetti. Ringo's 85th is coming. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. I felt like it was just 20 years ago. 20 years ago when I did finally get to see Ringo live, and he was 65. He was in the 60s the first time I saw Ringo. Now all of a sudden he's 85. That's insane. And still doing jumping jacks on stage, still touring, still putting out new music, and that's fantastic. That is fantastic. What's up with Paul collapsing at the rehearsal? Was that fake? I had to. I'm not 100% aware of that. I do remember he fell. Didn't he? One time he fell down the hole where he came up with the piano on stage. Didn't that happen once? But this right here, I'm not 100% sure. I need more context with this. I'm wondering when Stevie Wonder in Hyde Park, London, the 12th July, Paul will turn up. Possibly. Depends on where he's at. Who knows when Paul's going to start doing his promotions for the new album? Is he going to put out a single by then? Is he going to put out? Is he going to announce a new album by then? We'll see. Well, we'll see. Yeah, that's right, James. That's well, yeah. He fell in the piano hole on the U.S. tour. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. 20 years ago. Jeez, He was just a young pup in his 60s then, huh? Yeah. Yep. The shirt I got it though. I found a Lollapalooza shirt, Paul and Lollapalooza. This was 2005 or sorry 2015. I like this one a lot. I like the younger image of Paul here. So who else is out there? James says the 2005 tour never came to the UK. It was a shame. Well, yeah, unfortunately, not every tour that he does goes to the UK or Australia or Japan. A lot of times he just sticks with the States. I mean, bigger venues, right? More income. Maybe he feels it's worth the effort to just go to these football stadiums or baseball stadiums. 30 to 75,000 people as opposed to 5,000 in a theater somewhere in the UK. But you guys also have big arenas too there, right? But just not as many here in the States. I don't know. Yeah. It was pretty good. Let's see. Why is he taking so long? I heard he's playing a fall tour. Yeah, well, I mean that's what we heard as well. But I mean, it takes a while. I mean, once he finished the album, right? Then once he's done mixing the album, okay, then now it's got to go to, he's got to go to the pressing plants. Who knows how many people are trying to get vinyl pressed right now? Okay, we just don't know. And I'm sure him and his team are working out on how they're going to promote the album. What interviews or what magazines or what podcasts or what TV shows he's going to go on to help promote. I'm sure all that stuff's being planned. I'm sure the tour, if he is going to tour, I'm sure all that's being planned right now. So I'm sure he's busy in planning mode right now. I'm surprised we haven't heard any kind of cryptic messages or anything like that, like he did with New, like Potato and York, and giving clues as to what the new album might entail or be called. Jack, how you doing, Jack? Macca is the GOAT. Actually, awaiting the new album. Yes, we all are. We all are. It's been over 5 years now. Or is it going on 5 years? Anyways, been a long wait, too long. I hate these long waits in between albums. I mean, yeah, we've been getting nice little nuggets in between this 5 year. We've been getting all the anniversary, the Half Speed Master stuff. We got the one hand clapping. We got the books, the lyrics books. We got the Eye of the Storm book. So we have been getting stuff. It's just I would rather, the touring, that he's been doing. I just would rather, get new music myself. So, but yeah, Jack, I hope you're doing well, my friend. And yes, we are all anxiously awaiting the next album. Could it be announced next week? Could it be announced this week? Could it be announced this month some point? We'll see. We'll see. And Jack asked a question that somehow always impossible to answer. There's just so many great B-sides. I'll give you a ring right away. Nighttime, daytime, nighttime suffering. Jeez. Oh, woman, oh, why? Sally G. For some reason, I always go to Sally G. There's something about that one, whether it's the country flair to it. The lyrics are fantastic. I never thought to ask her what the letter G stood for, but I know for sure it wasn't good. I mean, brilliant. So, yeah, I always tend to go, for Sally G. However, I think Daytime Nighttime Suffering is fantastic. I love Flying to My Home. I love I'll Give You a Ring. Um, you know, and I'm just thinking about the non-album B sides, right? The stuff that aren't on an album. So yeah, absolutely. So thank you for that question, Jack. Yep, new music or archive releases should have taken present overall over all other activities and releases. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, let's just get the new music out. Whether it's just like maybe he just drops a single, like a new single. Um, I would love that. I mean, he was releasing um, a new single a year after Egypt Station. I remember he was dropping new music with In a Hurry and Home Tonight. This was well over a year after Egypt Station came out. You dropping a new single, a non-album single like Get Enough, right? A couple months after the release of the new album. He didn't do that for McCartney 3, right? He just released Woman and Wives. But there was like it's as if there wasn't more material um, centered around McCartney 3 to continue releasing non-album singles. So let's see here. Gary says, okay, not fake, but the story is referring to an incident during the making of Band on the Run. The way it was presented made it sound like a current. Okay, okay. And Jackson, how are you? Thanks for stopping in. Just talking, just shooting the shit. Whatever question or comment you have, we'll tackle it. I did talk about the birthday box that Andy showed on his latest collector's video, which I need to start doing as well. A few years back, we were doing a series called Things We Bought Yesterday and Today, where we would, maybe like once a month, we would show stuff that we picked up. Recently, Andy would show stuff that he had picked up in the past. And then, we just stopped doing that. I'm glad Andy has been picking it up because he's been getting a lot of great stuff recently. A lot of stuff that I've already picked up, but I'm glad that he's getting them now. Jack says daytime, nighttime is my favorite. It's a great song. It is a really, really great song. Let's see here. Ollie says, if the new album isn't until next year, then can we get a Cold Cuts archive release to tie in with the book and film, please? That's interesting because we know we're going to get the book, right? We know we're going to get the book with the new documentary that's coming out. But will we get like something like a Wingspan CD set like we got with the Wingspan documentary? Who knows? Who knows? But whatever it is, I'll buy it. I'll be there in line. Have you ever tried to get Paul on two legs, or have any idea how to go about it? Well, we would have to definitely try to reach out to his press secretary, which maybe we should try to do. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of like the only really way that it would happen. Sir Paul should do interviews with all the podcast. Yeah, that would be fantastic. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? And it's funny too because it's like over the years, I have thought of questions that I would love to ask Paul McCartney, but I never write them down, so I forget them. Lynn says maybe they could pitch how great it would be for Paul to be on a small but very intimate show, being followed by some of his most devoted. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Says, can you get his press secretary? I would love to get his manager on two legs as well. Yep. Yeah. But I know there's people out there that don't want to do these kind of things, these kind of shows. I remember when Mike McGear was at the Fest for Beatles fans, I shouldn't say I remember, but I remember hearing that his brother Mike did a Beatles fest, and Paul was kind of like, "Why are you doing that? You don't need that." So I think he frowns upon his inner circle from doing things like that, and I think he frowns upon diehard fans too, or diehards that do these kinds of things. To be honest with you. James says, everybody boogie. Yeah, dig it. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Yes, how you doing, James? Glad you can make it. Glad you can make it. I know you guys don't do anything for 4th of July there, but here, we are celebrating our independence. But thank you for being here. You buyers, I always look forward to, you and Boyce, I always look forward to hearing your comments and questions on our live streams. So thank you for being here again. Appreciate it. For people out there that or beat Letty here, maybe get his wife. We'll probably get Heather. If anybody, we'll probably get the ex-wife Heather on here. One leg joins two legs. If I had the opportunity, I'd ask Paul why the Beatles never put Shout onto an official Beatles recording. I've always wondered. Well, here's the thing. I don't want to ask him any Beatle questions. I just want to ask him solo stuff. That's all he gets asked is Beatle questions. It's time. It's time to get more Beatle questions. I mean, it's time to get more solo questions out there. Beatles, Schmeatles. No, I'm just kidding. I love the Beatles. Beatles are my favorite band of all time. Okay. Let's see here. Tim says, I would love to hear an interview with Wicks, the person who has played with. Yeah. Okay. I also have a feeling, too, that's, there's people out there that really don't want to, do these because they don't want to be in a position to where they have to, say anything that might ruin their relationship with Paul. I remember I reached out to David Kahn, the producer of Driving Rain and Memory Most Full. Okay. And he was kind enough to get back to me and say, hey, look, thank you for reaching out. Paul and I are in a great place right now in our relationship, so I'd rather not appear on your show. So, and that was nice of him. At least he got back, as the guy says. It was nice of him to write back and just give his reasonings, and that's great. I'll respect you more for that than just ignoring my message or my request. So Buyer says, thanks, Tom. Always a pleasure to be here too. Thank you. What we got here? Christopher, how you doing? Good to see you here. Tom, you and Annie would be the best Paul interviews because you wouldn't ask the same old crap. Yeah, exactly. There's one thing that I would like to go back and ask him about, and if you're familiar with his interviews that he did while with the Beatles, okay, there's that one interview that he did back in 1967 about taking LSD, and he's telling the journalist that it's your responsibility not to report this, what I'm telling you now. I would love to ask him if he still feels the same way that he did when he was giving that interview back in 1967 about the LSD stuff. I would love to talk to him about all of his drug stuff. Really, that famous the famous quote where he's spouting off everything that's more dangerous than pot. Ending with glue, right? Rum punch, whiskey, glue, all that stuff. I just love those interviews of his, all those sound bites. So, but yeah, I mean, I definitely so many questions about his solo career that we could, easily get into. Easily get into. That would be a lot of fun. Let's see here. James says, "I'd love for you to interview Paul, but if you ask him about dream, listen, you have everybody. Yes, you would. We would deservingly be asking people to unsubscribe if we ask such an asinine question as that. So, yeah, we'd be asking for trouble then." But James says, seriously, I love to know if All for Love really exists and if George Ringo attempted anything else during 94, 95. Yeah, I would love that too. Because then it's also um, involving a relationship with George, which, as we know, has had its ups and downs, more downs than ups, I would imagine, over the course of their solo careers. I just find the relationship between Paul and George a lot more interesting than the relationship between um, Paul and John after the breakup. Um, it's just always kind of interesting how Paul had always just taken the high road when it comes to George's, comments, and then, Paul, um, uh, would at least kind of, give sound bites back to if John had said something, or even now, if you read the lyrics book, um, Paul still has some resentments, I guess, or something like that against John. So, um, but yeah, I mean, Paul was never afraid to talk back about John, but he always just seemed to kind of like take the higher road when it comes to George. But it's all interesting. It's all interesting. Tim, Chris Whitten might talk with you. His time with Paul didn't end well. Yeah, I've been in contact with Chris Whitten on Instagram. He did say that he would come on, but I think he's waiting for. I think honestly, it might sound morbid. I think he's waiting for Paul to pass away. I don't think he wants to go on an interview and bad talk Paul, but I just don't think he wants to, you know, go on an interview and kiss his ass either. I think it would be kind of more like right down the middle. He did what he when we our last episode when we dropped that interview from 1987. Whitten had already been working with Paul up to that time. So I would say what 86, late 86, early 87, he starts working with Paul and then leaves after the 89-90 tour. I mean, so he put in a good 5 years, and I'm sure it wasn't all you know candy and roses. So yeah. Um, I went to got a few things out of storage. Lately, I'm getting more of my Paul stuff. As you can see, the sun glare that I'm trying to block. But I did also take out just a little my Morrissey CD single set from 88 to 91. Um, a lot of people, if you watch this, I'm a big Morrissey fan, with or without the Smiths. So again, it's just CD singles, Suede Head, So this is one of the things that I'm happy that I found at a used record store one day while living in Arizona. So yeah. So what else? What else? What else? Who else is out there? Don't be shy. It's been 34 minutes now. Good questions, good comments. Thank you, everybody. So, but yeah, we'll stick around for another 26 minutes here, 25 minutes, seeing how this goes. But yeah, on the collecting front, I've got more 45 coming. I have I've got uh, issue, or not an issue, but I got a 45 of silly love songs from Italy coming. I'm looking forward to getting, and then I'm going to start picking up some more stuff from Bolivia and Israel. So again, it's still never gonna ending. That rabbit hole just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I miss the heat. I do. I loved Arizona. I would definitely move back to Arizona, and maybe I will one day. So, but there's a thing though. I mean, okay, so let's say the heat. Let's say it really starts getting hot towards the end of April. Okay, and you got May, you got June, you got July, you got August, September. Then you got October. By October, by the 6th month of being really hot, you're like, okay, let's get to November already. Let's see here. October, the last day of October, when I was moving the rest of the stuff out of my old apartment, it was in the 90s. Okay, it was still in the 90s. So do with that information as you will. But yeah, I did like it. But it's usually like November to March was when people really uh, love living there. Let's see. So yes, happy upcoming 4th of July. It's still not too late for you to rejoin us. Very good, buyers. Very good. Beal Eddie says, yeah, Ken Michaels interviewed Ringo once or twice. Yeah, I think it was twice. You can see him in a pit in a picture, talking with Ringo in a studio. It was fantastic. Another time, he did get a quick, I think, 5-minute radio interview with him. This was probably back in 2013 or 14, right around that time. And yeah, yeah. Ken's been very fortunate to interview so many people in and around the Beatles community. Whether they were related to the Beatles as a group or to the Beatles as solo. So that's fantastic. You know. So keep the comments coming. So yeah, so I've been getting a few things. I've been getting a few things out of storage. Been getting a few CDs out there. I got to get some more with them. I still need to find my new square light. You know, um, one of the promotional pieces when the album New came out. So it's a little cube that with the word New on it, and it lights up. I still need to find that, and I still need to get some of the CDs that I have in storage. I got the bulk of them, but yeah, I also I put this uh, on Instagram the other day, but I just recently watched a DVD that I haven't watched yet. This was the making and then the concert, the Eke Core Museum. I really enjoyed this. This is another oratorio, just like the Liverpool oratorio. I know not a lot of people love his classic stuff or classical stuff, but I'm a big fan of this one as well. This is when they recorded this when he performed at the Hall of Albert as who was it? Was it Michael Palin that called it that at the concert for George? Yeah. So, but yeah, this is good. Nice 45-minute documentary, and yeah, yes, Harry, yes, thank you. I'll be safe for when the tornado comes while you're in the trailer park and that trailer goes up in the air with the storm, right? So haha, I know that you're trying to give me a little dig there, but you know. Let's see here. I've been rereading the Philip Norman books. I do hope he does a Ringo book. It would be unfair if he didn't. Eh, maybe. Maybe. I mean, Ringo's had some interesting, uh, um, events happen throughout his life. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't want to, a book out there about his alcoholism or the fact that there was some rough times between him and Barbara. His relationships throughout, divorcing Mo. You know, nobody wants that kind of stuff out there unless you're putting it out there yourself. But I don't see him doing one for Ringo. Yep. Okay. Just made up a double album version of New. I don't understand Queenie Eye being the hit from it. But was it? Probably the weakest song from the sessions. I don't know. Queenie Eye was the weakest song from New. Let's take a look at New here. Um, here's your basic copy. This one had I think Turned Out and Get Me Out of Here. I think were the bonus tracks on this one. But then you had the bigger kind of like booklet type set, which I always thought this would kind of be a good way to put out archive stuff from Paul. He did this for Memory Almost Full, kind of like this. He did this for New. Pure McCartney was kind of like that as well. So, yeah. But Struggle, Hell to Pay and Demon Dance might be my favorite. Stuff that didn't get on the album. So, but I do like Queenie Eye, but but Alligator might be my favorite album, or might be my favorite track on the album. Love Early Days. The song New, I think, is fantastic. I thought that was a good single. Don't really care for the video for Queenie Eye, but I loved it when I got to see him live. I loved that he um, did it live. So, but James, okay, buddy, we'll talk to you soon. Um, Upcoming gigs, okay, so good. I'll see you next week. Let's see here. Where were we? Okay, so Christopher, says just made up a double album version of New. Don't understand Queenie Eye being the big hit from it. Probably the weakest. Well, Ali, I am gonna say it. Hosanna is probably the weakest song on the album. There you go. Appreciate is okay, but never been one of my favorites. Looking at Her is nice, but it's never been one of my favorites either. Yeah. Get Me Out of Here is fun. Well, I guess that's just where we're going to disagree, my friend. That's where we're just going to have to disagree. And Harry made a good point here. This was while he was signed with Concord, right? So yeah, they did do a nice job with this stuff, and with the deluxe box sets. I'm glad they moved away from the book style, like Band on the Run and McCartney 2, and then there was Venus and Mars and At the Speed of Sound. They were kind of like a book style as like this as well. But yeah, I'm happy that they got away from this. But I love Demon's Dance and Hell to Pay. And who knows if who Hell to Pay is for, but maybe we know. Anyways, so there's that. What else is going on, gentlemen and ladies? McGear, I think this is a fantastic. The set was fantastic. When did this come out? Back in 2019, right? He was offering signed autographs. I think I got mine with the LP. So that this one doesn't have the autograph with it, but I've always been a big fan. Well, I shouldn't say I've always been a big fan. It did take me a few listens to get into to McGear, but I'm glad I finally got it. And I love um, the single "Leave It." Great video. um, you know, yeah. So, any thoughts on McGear? Anybody like the album McGear? What else? As I put this stuff away. All right, 45 minutes in. I'm going to check my phone real quick. Hold on. Okay. So, yeah, thanks again, James. Appreciate you showing up. Has anybody ever really taken the time to listen to Paul's classical work and experimental work? Like, I know I do want to eventually, one day while I'm doing a live stream, I do want to rank everything. Including the experimental stuff, the live stuff, the classical stuff. I just want to rank everything, everything that has Paul's name on it, even the fireman stuff in there. So one day I'll do that. But even though it's interesting as as the CD falls, I know it's just somewhat enjoyable. He's got better experimental stuff than this. Okay. Alligator is my favorite song from New. Cool. Like Hosanna, it's different, but still good. Okay. I have no problem with that. Let's see here. I thought McGear was good. Wings album. Still have the Ryko disc edition as well as the box set. Cool. Excuse me. Very good, Harry. I thought Rainbow Lady was the big single for McGear. That song is a bit tweet for no, Leave It was the initial main single from that. Yeah. Yeah. Rainbow Lady is not one of my favorites from the album, but it's not bad. I love What Do We Really Know? Simply Love You, Giving Grease a Ride is fantastic. The Man Who Found God on the Moon is epic, so yeah, Dance to Do, one of the B-sides. Yeah. Listen to the oratorio the other night. Cool. That's excellent. You talking about the Liverpool oratorio? Yeah. Lynn says, I have listened to the first three classical next to me, Akekor and I should check out that documentary. The documentary is really good. See if you can find it on YouTube. It's a good 45-minute documentary with the whole process. He started doing this before Linda's death, and then it was put off. He was commissioned to do this for a certain event. But then, unfortunately, Linda's death happened, and then it was postponed, and then brought back in 2006. So, very good documentary on that. Okay, let me get caught up here. Let's see here. Ali says, I like Standing Stone, if only for it being the only place to find a release version of Celebration. Yeah, I get you there. But there's some fantastic stuff on there. There's some really fantastic music and the choir on there. I really love them. Dance to Do. Yep. Let's see. Gary says, Tom, when you search for Macca 45s, are you going for the best condition or getting a copy and upgrading later? Besides eBay, what are the best sources? Well, Discogs is fantastic. Um, so yeah, eBay was like my go-to for like the first, 4.5, 5 years of collecting the 45s. I was just finding so much stuff on eBay. Okay, now kind of like the well has gone dry a little bit on eBay. Even though I did pick up these two from Turkey, Mrs. 40, or I'm sorry, Mrs. Vanderbilt. Like I said, one has the yellow and the other one has the orange writing. These are from Turkey. However, recently I've been having a lot of success now on Discogs. Okay, picking up stuff that I've never seen that I've never seen available on eBay. So I've just had a lot of success with both eBay and Discogs over the last 5 years. So, but excuse me, I have picked up a few. Like one of them, for instance, is the letting go with I think from Denmark with Linda on a motorcycle from the Red Rose Speedway sessions that I talked about. One of my favorite 45 picture sleeves, but it has a little tear on it as if somebody tore off a price tag on it. Here, you know what? Well, maybe I'll show you next. Maybe I'll show it next week or something. But that one I would actually if I do see a better one I would pick it up depending on the price. But yeah, not yet though, Garrett. I mean, so there's one or two that I have that I would upgrade on, but not just yet. Good question. What are your thoughts on holidays? To be honest with you, I've never spent much time. I've never spent any time, I should say, with holidays. I own it, or I did own it at one point, but I never listened to it. Just maybe because of the fact that I'm not the biggest Buddy Holly fan. Um, so I do need to listen to it. If Paul was to release it, let's say, um, when the 50th anniversary comes out, if he releases it like a Halsey Master, or releases it like one hand clapping, which I don't know if he can. I mean, even though he produced it, it's on MPL. I don't know if he owns it or not. So I don't know if he could re-release it. I know Denny Laine is that's the name on it, but he owns the rights to the Buddy Holly right material. So it would be interesting to see if it gets ever got a reissue. But to be honest with you, no, I haven't. I don't have any thoughts on holidays, but I need to get familiar with it. I need to get familiar with it. Yes, my favorite of his classical work besides working classical. Yeah, I mean that's the most approachable. I mean it's most well known. If you are interested in his classical work, I would say check out Working Classical because it's stuff you're familiar with, right? Um, do I have that here, or is it still in storage? It might still be in storage, so I still have to find. I still have to find that one. So, um, so yeah. Let's see here. How you doing? Did you pre-order Paul's band on the Run book? The used cover is really nice. Or yeah, I agree. I prefer the UK version. Yes, I have pre-ordered. I pre-ordered it from Amazon the minute that it was available to pre-order. Let's see here. Have you heard Zach James and Sean's were making a record called Rip Off? Make it as a ripoff. Yeah. I mean, I think everybody has. I think everybody has Beetle Eddie. Let's see here. Also, I've only listened to Electric Arguments, so should check out the other two. Yeah. I mean, listen, if you're a McCartney fan, if you love McCartney, I think you should check out everything that he's done, and then you can always determine whether or not you want to listen to it again, or buy it, or own it, or whatever. Do you consider McGear to be a Wings album? I don't, but if you do, where do you rank it against other Wings albums? No, I don't. I mean, it's because it's McGear, right? I mean, McGear's on the cover. Yeah, I mean, Paul and Wings are on it. Denny Sywell is on the lead off single track "Leave It," and Jimmy's on there, even though he wasn't technically a member of Wings yet. And but no, I don't think I would consider it a Wings album. But I think everybody just likes calling it the Lost Wings album, just because you got Paul, Denny, and Linda, and Jimmy, which later, excuse me, became an official member. Yeah, thank you, Harry. That was it could be. Screw it. Let me hold on, guys. Let me get it real quick. Okay. All right. Yes. So thank you, Harry. Yeah, it is Portugal. So, but here you go. So this is Letting Go. Okay, from '75. But here you have a picture of Linda during the Red Rose Speedway photo sessions. And then here you can see that there's the little rip right here, as if somebody peeled off a price tag or something like that. So here's the backside. More stuff from Portugal. But yeah, I would definitely rebuy this, just to get rid of that little scratch or whatever. But this is one of my favorite picture sleeves from the '70s. I absolutely adore this one. So, but yeah, so thank you, Harry. Yeah, so Paul owns Holidays. Denny was hoping for a remaster and reissue. Yeah, and maybe it still might happen come the 50th anniversary or whatnot. So let's see here. Tone says Holidays is a stinker. 50s music yet. It has a drum machine on every track, virtually unlistenable. Yeah. So again, I mean, it's for diehard Buddy Holly fans, I believe, or diehard Wings fans, which is why we own it, and maybe listen to it or maybe not listen to it. It's like people that own the classical stuff but haven't listened to it, right? But they have it just because they're Paul McCartney fans. Tim says, I believe Holidays was the only non-McCartney LP released on the Black Capital label that was exclusively for Paul. Possibly, yeah. I'm not 100% sure about that. Let's see here. Have you seen the promo video for Denny Laine's Heartbeat? It's on YouTube. No, I'll have to check that out. But thank you for bringing that to my attention. Christmas Holidays is pretty lame, but I do think there should be a reasonably priced remastered box set reissue of Denny's solo albums as a tribute. You would buy it. Yeah, but I mean, I've seen his stuff out there fairly cheap. Whether it's 45s, international 45s, or LPs or whatnot. I think you can still get his stuff. Different labels, with all these different labels, work together to put that stuff out. I don't know. I've had so many opportunities to to get Denny Laine stuff, and it just, and even though there might be a co-write with McCartney on, one or two of these albums, I still just don't care, unfortunately. Besides the Star Club tapes, I wonder what else Peter Jackson is working on. I imagine Disney, Apple want to keep him on the Beatles releases forever. Yeah, he's on the payroll permanently now. I think that his company Wingnut is working on the new restored version of Bangladesh, and I think he's also working on the '74 tour as well. I have no inside information on that, but that's what I think. Let's see here, Jack. Jack says, "Do you think that one day you'll see that you'll sell your Macca collection?" Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure there will come a time, but it's not now. That's for sure. Um, Definitely not now. There's still so much stuff that I want to get, that I want to pick up. Things I'm not going to say because I don't want other people to know these things exist or that are out there. But yeah, there's just still so many things that I want to add to my collection. I was looking at some stuff last night, and I was just like, yes, 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 yes. It's just crazy how many different promotional stuff is out there. I mean, people are asking a pretty penny for them, but I think this promotional stuff is really cool. And I've said too much. I must say no more. Yeah. So we're an hour in. Still got some comments and questions coming. Peter Jackson working on a movie, Lord of the Ringos. Yeah. How crazy is that too? That the director of the Lord of the Rings is working with the band that could have been in the movie The Lord of the Rings. That's insane. Anyways, yeah. So, all right, listen, I'm going to kind of wrap this up. Excuse me. This cough I can never get rid of. But yeah, I want everybody to have a fantastic week. Everybody have or everybody here in the States have a fantastic and safe 4th. Please be careful if you're drinking or doing other things. Wink. Hey, Wink. Where are you? There you. No. Harry got in there, slid in right at the last moment. We got you just in time to say goodbye. Well, I mean, if you have any question or comments, just throw it in right now. Wink. But Lynn, thank you for being here. Really appreciate you. Part of the fam, being here, chatting. Harry says, "Do you think we will see any more Wings music being released by the end of the year?" Well, I think we were kind of talking about that, whether or not that we're going to get any music related to the Man on the Run or Band on the Run documentary, or whatever it's called, or whatever it's going to end up being called. So who knows? Maybe November, December. Let's say, because we're not going to get a, I know people out there think we're going to get a London Town Back to the Egg box set. That's just not going to happen. We're not going to get a London Town Back to the Egg box set this year. Okay. We're not going to get one next year either. As I stir the pot, but no, I think we might get something music related, but you got the documentary. Excuse me, you got the book. Let's see when we're gonna get the album, whether it be early September. That way, the album has a few months to be out there before anything else gets released. So yeah, I mean, maybe we are, but let's get this new album first. Let's get this new album first. Friday, my friend. Friday, I'll have it ready for you. Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna play Freedom for. There you go. There you go. Yep. Don't play it too loud. Um, you know. BLA says happy 4th of July, everyone. Yes, 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 yes. Peter Jackson is spending at least 2 years remastering Rat Special. Ah, that's good. That's good, Tim. That's good, my friend. Let's see here. Jack says, Gary says, have a great 4th. Yes. Come on here. Talk. Yeah, take care of that. Yeah, I will. I will. Thank you. Freedom is okay. Yeah, it's okay, I guess. I guess. Wings of Tom, least favorite McCartney song. Mine would be Waterfall. Yeah, you know what? It's funny you say that because I'm still not the biggest fan of Waterfalls, but you know, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reggae, I think is terrible, but that's not necessarily really. I mean, I don't know if I would consider that a Macca song or not. But it is. P.S. Let Me Do. It's cringeworthy. You know, the song. You know, the song "Talk More Talk." However absurd. Press to Play might have some of my least favorite McCartney tracks on it. Bip Bop, yeah, might be, but you know what? That's like everybody picks on Bip Bop, right? The video is horrible. Least favorite, all the covers off Kiss. Okay, so there's this right here is my least favorite. I'll show you. I just remembered that. Do I have the? I think I have. Yeah, right here. Yeah, right here. Okay. Okay. So going back to Buddy Holly. Okay. Paul McCartney. Where is it? Yeah. His cover of "It's So Easy" on Rave on Buddy Holly is absolutely the worst thing he's ever put onto, reel to reel, vinyl, CD, cassette, 8-track. Any way you listen to music, I think this is absolutely god awful remake of "It's So Easy" that Paul McCartney does on this album. Might be my least favorite things he, like I said, has ever produced. Waterfalls is okay too. Okay, well, that's fine. Almost anything off of Macca 2 except Coming Up. Yeah, I know kind of Macca 2 gets shit on from time to time. I think it has been getting a lot of recognition lately. It's when the box set came out back in 2011, I think people have come to like it. I've come to like McCartney 2 a lot more than what I used to. I've always kind of liked it, but now I really, really like it. Wild Honey Pie, yeah, if you're counting Beatles. Tim, I do like I Am Your Singer. I like Linda's voice. I like their kind of duetting on that song. So, but that's your opinion, and you're entitled to that. Karina Core, Karina Core. Wink, I like that song. Let's see here. Big Boy's Biggering is his worst original. Wow. If you're going to drop a bunch of F-bombs, at least make it a rocker. Yeah. Maybe. Maybe. Paul and Denny's version of "It's So Easy" blows that one away, as does Ringo's "Think It Over." On the other, I think that the two, those two albums came out in the same year, I believe. Those two Laine or Buddy Holly tribute albums. Yeah. Billy says, or Beatletti says, "I'm Your Singer" is so great. Or it's great. Lynn says, "I really like Coming Up, Waterfalls, Summer Day Song. One of These Days has become one of my favorite McCartney tracks from McCartney 2. Absolutely. Good picks there, Lynn. Except for Waterfalls. I kind of enjoy Check My Machine. And the other one too, Secret Friend. Mr. H. Adam. Now that's garbage. Mr. H. Adam is, if you've ever heard that one's I think dog shit. Let's see here. Hi Tom, hope you're doing well. I just joined, so I don't know if you've already covered this, but did you have any interest in the new? Yes, I do. I am going to pick that up too, Christian. So how you doing? Glad you popped in. I know you talked highly about him in the past. Yeah, I am going to get the new Van Morrison album. I've heard good things about it. I almost picked up the vinyl last week, but I'm just going to get the CD for now. But I'm just in absolute love with his 70s output. Even the stuff at towards the end of the decade, I think is fairly good. Because distractions is good. Yeah, yeah. Wink says distraction rivals waterfalls. Very funny, Wink. Very funny. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up in like 5 minutes. We'll go an hour and 15 here. So what else? Again, thank you everybody for joining, and I hope you all have a great week. Two Legs will be taking this week off as we normally do for the first Saturday of the month. We do have an idea for our next show that Andy and I will be recording. And make sure you check out Hands Across his other show, Hands Across the Water, with Kyle Hand and Beely Tone, who's still here, and check out his live Sunday show. Speaking of Tone, this is Front Parlor is like the soundtrack to Super Mario. Okay. I was just playing McCartney too, as we got the as we got here. Where is it? Yeah, here we go. So that's the SHM. I was playing this a couple weeks ago. And Front Parlor came on, and for whatever reason, I guess maybe I was just in a good mood, but I didn't mind it so much. Yeah, the instrumentals on this one aren't as entertaining, I guess, as the ones on McCartney, the original McCartney album. But yeah, I like McCartney too. McCartney 2 is fantastic, I think. Even the silly stuff like Bogey Music and Dark Room. I've always had a soft spot for Dark Room. Really like it. Again, and one of these days I think is one of the best song on it. Nobody Knows is another silly one too. But On the Way, the bluesy On the Way, which was so cool that we got B.B. King to do On the Way before he passed away for the Art of McCartney set. So yeah, very good. Tim says, "Don't Be Careless, Love is just a rewrite of Waterfalls to me." Fair enough. All right. So 2 more minutes. Thank you again. I will be get to go grocery shopping after this. Yay me. Go buy some beer and get some cigars, get some food for Friday. Maybe some food now. Getting a little hungry. Haven't eaten yet, so get a late lunch, early dinner. But again, everybody, thank you again for popping in. This was fantastic. A lot of fun. I'll be live next week. I know our the 9th anniversary, Two Legs 9th anniversary is coming up soon. In August. I'm trying to figure out what to do. Maybe a 9-hour stream. How about a 9-hour anniversary stream for Two Legs? We'll see. To celebrate the 9th anniversary, we plan on being at the Fest for Beatles fan, and it's very cool that Beely Tone's going to be there. I know Mazzy said he was going, so it's going to be pretty cool as well. And just looking forward to seeing you all, seeing all my friends there, and yeah, so cool, guys. Thank you again. We will see you soon. Peace and love. as the man says.